Hola a todo el mundo y bienvenido a mi canal. Yo me llamo Sirey. Soy una abogada afro-latina licenciada practicando las leyes criminales, pero como todos ustedes, a mí me fascina cuando estamos hablando de casos de crímenes reales. En este video vamos a hablar del caso. Bueno, vamos a continuar de hablar del caso de Devyn Michaels. Si quieren mi video en español, nada más dime allá abajo. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Desiree. I'm a licensed and practicing Afro-Latina criminal attorney who, much like the rest of you, has a severe fascination with true crime cases. Listen, you guys, a few months ago, I did a video on a Looney Tune by the name of Devyn Michaels. Do you remember her? Well, it's come on my radar that Miss Michaels was recently sentenced, I think only a couple of weeks ago. So let's go ahead and get into my thoughts on her sentencing. This is the case of Devyn Michaels. Now, before we get into the sentencing particularly, and I know that the video about Miss Michaels is still on my page if you guys choose to refresh yourselves on the subject. But let me just give you a brief little overview about what that case was about. So Devyn Michaels was a quack from my hometown of Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, I don't know if she was from Vegas because we don't claim her, but that's where this incident occurred. So Devyn was a former adult film star, and she married this man by the name of Jonathan Willette. By virtue of that marriage to Jonathan Willette, they had some minor daughters. At some point, her and Mr. Willette decided it was best to just get a divorce, so they separated. At which point, this psychotic woman, because I'm trying to choose my words carefully, marries Mr. Willette's son from a prior relationship, Devyn. So she's married to Devyn, and Devyn is now the stepfather brother to her kids. Ew. Anyways, long story short, let me just cut to the chase. This psychopath not only kills Jonathan, but she decapitates him and leaves his decapitated body at his home for his mother to find. If you'll remember from my first video, the prosecution in this case offered her a plea agreement by which she would plead guilty to second-degree murder. At a hearing, when she was going to be sentenced for that plea, she started doing a bunch of lunacies, which made the prosecution uncomfortable, and they graciously allowed her to withdraw from the plea.
Ms. Michaels, what, if anything, would you like to say before I pronounce sentence against you?
Jonathan is very special, very unique, and I know no matter what I say at this moment, I know right now no one in the family is going to believe me. I know right now no one in the family feels that I am innocent at any point. And I understand that, but I can actually prove my innocence. I actually can. And I'm not gonna stop fighting to prove my innocence. I have more than enough, and Jonathan deserves to have the actual person who's guilty behind bars. I was helping Jonathan. I can show that I was trying to help him, and this I know is hurting the family, and I can see it in your faces, and I know your hearts are angry, and they should be, and I'm angry for you. And this is not fair to you. This has been dragging out for almost 2 years. It's not fair to you. And it's not fair to his children. Any of them. And it's not right. It really isn't. It's not. I've seen so much that it's just terrible. The way that they manipulated and altered and deleted things is wrong. They should not be able to do it, and they have. And for you to be able to look me in the eye knowing that the things are altered and
He pled guilty to him.
Miss Michaels, you are not to address the state. You are to address me. You are addressing Mr. Giordani. You are going to address me. What do you want me to say? What do you want to say to me?
My apologies. I wasn't trying to address the state directly. It's just, I was told. I just told one thing after another, and I truly believed that we were going to do the right thing, and it just didn't happen. I am so sorry for all of this, but I am so sorry. But I didn't do this, and I didn't know this would end up like this. I really didn't. And I will forever apologize to the family. But I don't know how to fix any of this anymore. I don't. I keep listening to what everyone tells me is the best thing to do. Just do this and it'll work out this way, and follow this advice and we'll do this. And I keep listening to the people because they keep saying this is the best advice. It doesn't turn out the way they tell me it will. And it just gets worse and worse. And I don't know what to do anymore.
Judge, I'm not comfortable with this record. I'm willing to let her out of her plea if the court is inclined.
I don't know how to fix this.
All right.
It's just, this wouldn't be appropriate.
I completely understand.
Let's go to trial.
All right. Ms. Michael, Judge Mr. Giordani says that he's willing to let you out of your plea and he's willing to try this case. And you understand that he's willing to try this case on an open murder. So a jury can convict you of a first-degree murder. You understand that? Or do you want to talk to Mr. Patrick about it?
Well, I don't want to talk to Mr. Patrick. He didn't listen to anything I said.
Miss Michaels, I need you to understand what I'm saying to you and answer my question. Do you want to withdraw your plea and go to trial?
Yes, please.
All right. This plea is going to be withdrawn. Ms. Patrick, I need you to have some discussions with your client about...
Your Honor, I move to withdraw at this time. This case needs to go back to the appointed counsel.
Miss Michaels, hold on just one second. Miss Michael, you need to conduct yourself like this in the courtroom. If you cannot do that, then they're going to remove you because I still have business to conduct.
Yes.
Do you understand? Mr. Patrick?
Judge, respectfully, I move to withdraw and have this case sent back to Office of Appointed Counsel. I am not in position to accept appointment on this case should it go to trial at this time.
Now, why do I say graciously allowed? I'm not going to go super in depth into it, but I've told you guys before, you can't just enter into a plea agreement and then be like, I changed my mind, Judge. There are a lot of steps that you have to take as a criminal defendant in order to be able to withdraw your plea. And there are only certain circumstances by which the plea is allowed to be withdrawn. So here, because the prosecutor felt uncomfortable with Miss Michaels' reactions, statements, what have you, at the sentencing hearing, prosecution said, I'm not cool with this. I will allow her to withdraw her plea. And that bypassed all of the steps she would have had to take to withdraw the plea otherwise. Court agreed with the prosecution, allowed her to withdraw her plea, and then she went to trial. At the trial, she was ultimately convicted, and then we are here at the sentencing. I think I have you guys all caught up. For more details, go watch my old video. Anyways, sentencing just took place, and let's give you my thoughts on it. So I've told you guys before that when sentencings happen, each side is given their opportunity to explain what they believe the sentence should be. Although they're arguing as to what they think the sentence should be, the sentencing here is kind of limited, specifically because she was convicted of first-degree murder. Under Nevada revised statutes, there are 3 options as far as penalties are concerned when it relates to a first-degree murder conviction. 1, life without the possibility of parole. 2, life with the possibility of parole after a minimum of 20 years. Or 3, a definitive sentence of 50 years with the possibility of parole after 20. Here, The prosecution made its statement, which I found to be appropriate. It was short, sweet, to the point. Judge, we're not going to say a lot. The jury made the decision. It is what it is.
State, since this is the result of a jury trial, you have retained the right to argue.
Yes, Judge, and you've been doing this as long as I have, if not longer. There's a couple of different types of defendants that come before you and that I've dealt with in my career. And there are those that, don't function in society. They commit multiple crimes over and over. And then there are those like this defendant who function relatively normally for an extended period of time, but committed such an extreme act of evil when she did commit a crime that you have to put her on the far end of the spectrum of evil, Judge. I understand that her lack of criminal history is something that you're going to take into consideration when you determine whether she gets life without her or not. I really just have a question for the court, and I'm not going to try to provide an answer. And the question is this, is a person who is capable of such extreme evil, is that person someone that we want to walk our streets, whether it's 20 years from now, 28 years from now, or not? And you're in the robe, you're on the bench, you get to make that decision today. I would just urge you to think about what it must have taken for her to do what she did. Not everyone is capable of that extreme amount of violence. Not everyone, not even some of our worst offenders go that far. There was some statements made at our last sentencing that I would ask you to take into context with the evidence you heard at the trial. There is absolutely overwhelming evidence of her guilt, and obviously we have a jury verdict at this point. So all that nonsense that was spewed at the last hearing, I think that has been disproven during the course of the trial, and as evidenced by the very quick verdict that was delivered in this case. If you'll recall, it was just a couple of hours in the same day of closing arguments. With that said, Judge, I will submit it to your discretion. Just defer to the victim's speakers.
After that, Devyn Michaels herself decided to address the court.
Ms. Michaels, what, if anything, would you like to say before I pronounce sentence against you?
At this point, I just feel bad. Anything I say, it won't. The family's looking for certain things and they cannot deliver what the family's looking for. And they're here, and I just want them to get their, at least part of their anger out. I know no matter what I say, they're still gonna feel the same way. So just let them have their time, and that's all I can say.
In my opinion, Devyn's statement was honestly just what it was. I will kind of echo her sentiments, and her sentiments were, there's really nothing I can say. And I agree with her. Nothing she can say is ever going to excuse this behavior in her criminal conduct. So it is what it is. After that, her attorney decided to make a statement as well. What's of note to me is that her attorney was bringing up the fact that she had a lack of criminal history and asked the court for some leniency and a possible chance at redemption by giving her life in prison with the possibility of parole after 20 years. Then after listening to Devyn's defense attorney speak, the court heard from Jonathan Willette's parents.
Please state your full name, spelling your first and last name for the record.
Valeria Willette, Valeria Willette.
And ma'am, what would you like to say to me today?
First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak out. It's been a while, and I'm very thankful. And whatever I'm going to read is what I lived for almost 3 years.
Okay.
Excuse me. The brutal murder that took place on August 7th, 2023 has forever changed my life, my husband's, and my children's life. I am still in shock and traumatized because of this unbelievable act from someone who is selfish and heartless. About a week after Jonathan's murder, we came across a huge responsibility of taking in 2 young girls who we didn't know, and due to the circumstances, we couldn't say no when all others say they couldn't. My life has changed since the notification of my stepson's death. With us taking in 2 girls with us taking 2 girls in our home and getting to know them and not knowing of all the trauma they previously had after the murder, even more trauma was added. It has been a tough 2.5 years for all my family. Grieving has been hard at home since there were times when I needed to break down and cry, but I couldn't because we had 2 girls who depended on our strength. Along came caseworkers, CASA, Boys Towns, and CAP attorneys who visit our home several times a month. This doesn't include the process of getting fingerprinted, classes to be able to assist the girls while with us, and therapy for them and myself, husband on a weekly basis. The girls did not have discipline, boundaries, basic cleanliness, social skills, and proper hygiene. The clothing they brought from Child Haven was unfit for anything except playtime. I contacted their stepfather/brother, Davier, to see if we could pick up more clothing, and those were not much better. We ended up spending a lot so they could look presentable when in school and out in the community with us.
What I will say was a little disheartening for me in listening to the parents' statements is the fact that I felt like they were just going on and on and on and kind of disparaging the minor children. We get it. You want her to hear about how her children weren't well kept before they came over to you, blah-de-blah, blue-de-blue, but like, how does this make the children feel? I really didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I understand that they're at a loss. Everyone is at a loss, but no one's at a greater loss than those kids. They lost both parents, and they'll never get either back. And following that, the court imposed its sentence.
Well, I think when Mr. Draskich said it's been quite a roller coaster that got everybody here, I think that's quite an understatement as to how we got here. But I did preside over this trial for 2 weeks, and I was able to hear all the evidence that was presented by the state, as well as I was the judge when this case was originally negotiated in a settlement conference, and then Ms. Michaels wanted to withdraw that plea and proceed to trial. And the jury has ruled, and we all have to respect the decision of the jury. But I have to say, and I think Mr. Willette said it best, and as well as so did his wife, because one of the biggest concerns that I think we should all have as we deal with this is the fact that these children are going to be left without either one of their parents. And it's not any fault of theirs, it's not anything that they played a part in, but as well as everything that they had endured up to this point. And now, Ms. Michaels, based on your actions, they are going to be left without either one of their parents. Pursuant to the jury's verdict, you're going to be adjudicated guilty of first-degree murder with use of a deadly weapon. In addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, your DNA was taken in 2022, so it's waived. The $3 DNA assessment fee, you're going to be ordered to pay $5,000 in restitution to victims of crime. You're going to be sentenced to 240 months to life in the Nevada Department of Corrections. There's going to be a consecutive 96 to 240 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections for the deadly weapon enhancement, and as of today, you have 780 days credit for time served.
In reading some of the comments, a lot of people were saying they couldn't really follow what the judge imposed because she talks so fast. And although she talks fast, I talk fast too. That's my #1 complaint in any trial I've ever done. So I heard her just fine. So as to the murder charge, Devyn Michaels was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 20 years. She also received a consecutive 8 to 20 years for a weapons enhancement. So all in all, I think they said that she was 47 going on 48. She won't be out anytime soon. But let me know if you feel like this was justice served. Let me know anything it is you need to let me know down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until next time, y'all take care.